Hello everybody and welcome to TJ's Lego Room. Today we are on a field trip out of the Lego Room. This particular MOC I've got here is so big it actually won't fit on my table that I normally display my smaller MOCs on. This is the Rogue Pirate. This is a submission for the Rebrick website contest on build your own correlian freighter, a la Millennium Falcon. So from this direction you can kind of see it's got the round shape, but if I go ahead and turn it like this and tilt it up for you, you can see that the ship is kind of a reverse Millennium Falcon. And I broke off one of the landing gear, so I might have to fix that in just a second here. So you can see you got what this would normally be the back end of the Falcon around here, and then obviously the two forks are up here. So if we start from the original Falcon's front, which is this particular ship's back, hold on, this foot, oh yeah, it broke off. Just put it back in place, boom, back on. Alright, so this would be the normal front, the two prongs at the beginning, but you can see that I've changed it around so that it is now the back, and I've also changed how the engines work, so they're actually a couple of giant vertical engines now. Maybe I can slide this over here so you can kind of get another view of it without me having to move it too much. And then in the back here we have our cargo, because the Millennium Falcon is a freighter, right? A cargo freighter. So we move up these couple of locks and we can slide out 1, 2, 3, and a fourth little container. So there we go. Got all those little containers. And they all fit in the back there. And now we're going to take it in a little bit, and you can see right in there, there's actually a window. And that window goes to the inside, which I will show you in just a minute. I'd like to show a couple details first before we move inside. So let's go ahead and look. So right here, we have the engine compartment. And the idea, so if you look under here, you can see I've got smooth engines underneath. And then we've got these boosters here, the giant main engine thrust. And then up here we have an open greebled area. And the reason it's smooth here and greebled there is because my idea was that he had modified these engines like you do with any kind of Millennium Falcon. You get the greebling, and he took off the cover that makes this nice and smooth, which I actually did have the cover on here at one point. And then he took the cover off to modify it with these to, I call it the nitrous oxide of space. Some space NOS. And you can see that these containers kind of attach into here, into the main engine manifold and piping area. But the real reason I created those is because I don't have enough of those smooth pieces that are on the bottom. And so, ta-da, a little bit of a cheat there. So you come up a little bit farther, and you've got these these exhaust things in front of the engines, which I thought was a lot of fun to build. You've got the classic Millennium Falcon grills right there, and then the striping patterns. I don't know if you could see it from before, but the striping patterns I'm really proud of. To be able to just bring it down, whoop, and then split apart. It was a lot of fun to design that and work on that. I always like ships with stripes in them, and this is my first attempt. We have, of course, our satellite dish for any self-respecting correlian freighter. We have our canopy, our bridge, which is one of my favorite parts, and we'll go into more detail. We have some cannons on the front that are operated from the bridge. We have here another antenna that sticks straight up out of the ship. It actually attaches down in underneath onto some level plates so that it sticks straight up instead of on any kind of an angle. And that was a lot of fun to design, honestly. We have our airlocks. And now the cool part about the airlocks, the part that I absolutely adore. Let me just slide this up here. So a part that I didn't get to show a lot of people is that this actually has some docking clamps that pop out here and will grab on to ships, hence the name Rogue Pirate, is this ship would actually go up and clamp onto another ship so they couldn't escape. So they could board it and loot it, all that kind of good stuff. There's also a little bit of greebling just right here, just for a panel that supposedly was removed or damaged. Got some fun angles on the side to kind of give it some interesting shaping. Now these two are actually mirrored. I figured that they would be on a ship, you know. Another fun thing that took a while to build is actually the greebling right in here. This stuff right here actually took a lot longer than it should have. But what I had to do is this was completely smooth all the way up with just bricks, regular bricks, you know. And I decided I wanted some greebling in there because I like making things hard for myself. And so I had to remove everything, believe it or not, starting from the bottom and working my way up, and then put it on, and then put the bottom back together. At the time it was easier that way because I hadn't finished the bottom. And then we're going to go to one of the parts that I think everybody was really looking forward to on this, is some detail on that cannon right there. So if I can remove this little piece that the camera's on, I will show you what this does. Okay, kind of worked. All right. So these cannons, it's a quad cannon like the Millennium Falcon. It does have this red laser guided sight. It spins completely around and actually does stay in place. You know, it doesn't just wobble around, so I can shake the thing and it doesn't wobble. It stays in place pretty good. It has the click hinge to go up and down. Good night, buddy. And then if I take that off, you can see that it's got a radar dish upside down. And so when this gun is sitting down inside, it actually kind of sits down inside. So if I come down here like this, you can kind of see. Oh, sorry. You can kind of see that the bottom in there actually is kind of countersunk inside and kind of rolls around that radar dish. And so that's actually mirrored top and bottom. I'll show you the bottom in a little bit, but we're not going to move off this turret just yet. We're going to do one more thing with the turret, and that is I'm going to show you the alternate turret that this little ship has. So if I pop this off, oh, the part didn't pop off I wanted to. There we go. Then I have an alternate missile launcher build. So I've got these not flick fire, these spring-loaded shooters, I think is what they're commonly referred to. So I load those guys up, and as you can see, it looks really, I think it looks pretty good on there. The color scheme obviously matches really well, and it still rotates and hinges, although it can only hinge up to there. But then it does, obviously, spring-loaded shooters. Carter, go stand against the wall right there. Go stand over there. Ready? Say hi, buddy. Say hi.
Hi.
Oh, that was terrible. Thanks, buddy. And so that's the alternate build for the top. So instead of a quad cannon, it can have a kind of proton torpedo missile launcher. Yeah, Daddy's showing off his Millennium Falcon ship. All right. So, oh, sorry about that. All right, well, let's keep going around the ship. Okay. I think that's everything on the top, on the surface, so let's go ahead and go inside the ship. Okay, quiet, buddy. All right, so if we take off the canopy here, this is the UCS Slave 1 windscreen. I originally got this windscreen so that I could build a Guardians of the Galaxy ship, but yeah, I think this worked pretty good too. I've got another one, so I can still build that. All right, so then you can actually take off this front section. Carter, get out from under the table. Oh, some of it didn't stay on. So that's one problem with a lot of my mocks is I kind of build them for me, not always for small hands to be able to play with them. And because of that, they tend to be a little fragile sometimes. Alright, so we've got that off. And then we can go ahead and take a look inside. Alright, so inside you can see the window that's back here. It's actually behind a little ladder that's down inside there. Man, I wish I could get better lighting inside there, but that's okay. So the ladder actually just goes down to nothing. You can see down there the upside down bricks for the bottom turret. Then we have our walkway inside here, and I did try to go for a hexagonal shape using these angled grills, these 1x2 angled grill pieces. We've got some control panels on either side, and they're just mirrored inside there. And then we come forward here, and we have the pilot and co-pilot. Co-pilot is the Icthorian, and the pilot is like Cad Bane, if you know Star Wars Rebels. And then back here are a couple of rebel pilots that the rogue pirate and its crew had been asked to smuggle back to the rebellion. So we have this guy with a mustache because he's in disguise. And then we have here a Rogue One Blue Squadron pilot who survived the Battle of Scarif, and they tried to get him out. And then these seats actually can be removed very easily to reveal just a couple of 2x2 bricks. So you got these little pieces, and then you can store goods or other things inside there to smuggle around. One of the other parts I'm really proud of is actually this little control console, because I didn't have a whole lot of room anymore to get the control console in there, and it's so close to the windscreen there, but it all fits, and it's all legitimate as far as like the fit goes. And those two little studs right there do hold that front section right there. Oh, come on, buddy. There we go. All right. Oh, I broke something. All right, so let's go ahead and see if we can't flip this thing over and show you guys the underbelly of the beast. And I do think I just broke some more parts of the ship, so forgive me if it does come apart. All right, so we flip the ship upside down. Boop. Alrighty, so you can see I've got the bottom turret that's perfectly mirrored to the top. We've got the fun little landing gear here, and I can remove parts of it. I'll show you some landing gear detail. So, kind of fun. Designed it a lot off of the Millennium Falcon because obviously it's a Correlian ship, so it's supposed to remind you of the Falcon, right? And then I did actually have a couple of those Kyber crystal containers from the Rogue One Lego sets in the top here, in the front, just chilling, waiting to be taken off. And then of course I do have a couple of ramps. You can see they've kind of fallen in a bit when I turn it upside down, but we've got a couple of ramps that come down for the people on each side, and I think that's about it. Alright, let's see if it'll flip back over without breaking it in half. I mean, even though some of my ships do have a hard time, I am pretty proud at how well they're put together. I mean, you just saw I was able to flip the thing over and back without even so much as the antenna coming off. So, while it's not the most sturdy ship in the world, or the universe, or the galaxy in this case, I am pretty proud of it. So I did enter this into a contest. I did not win. I can only describe that to blatant favoritism on the part of the judges. Has nothing to do with the quality of pictures that I took or the quality of the build itself, I'm absolutely sure. Anyway, thank you so much for checking this out. I know it's a little bit of a longer video, and we had a little helper up here occasionally, but I hope you enjoyed that ship. Keep building, and we'll catch you next time on TJ's Lego Room.